Welcome. My name is Sasha Moore, and I am here with Matthew Porch, Head of Distribution at Aquamore. Welcome, Matt.
Hi, Sash. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. So we are in the middle of our myth-busting private lending video series, which really unpacks some of the myths that are associated with the sector and really looking at whether some of the perceptions are true or false. So Matt, I'm going to hit you with one and you can let me know your perspective.
Sure.
So the myth is that private lenders will issue terms and then once the application is submitted, the interest rate will then go up. So meaning that what you're quoted or what you're expecting is then not what actually occurs once the deal comes to proceed. True or false?
It's a very good question. To be honest, the answer to that would probably be a bit of yes and no. It's all depending on who you deal with. I guess what we try and do a little bit differently, and it's something that I've always done since I came into this position, is that we will issue terms upfront, trying to understand as much about the deal as we can. That ties into quality conversations with your BDM, with the broker and the BDM relationship. We really try and drive those quality conversations to give an outcome that we will fund at the rate and at the terms and at the structure that we've provided. I do know that there are certain lenders in the market who will look to get the client off the market by issuing a term sheet without really understanding the proposal, by putting in 10 or 12 conditions that need to be met. We try and do things a little bit differently, where the conversation is held up front, terms are confirmed, then we go through the application process, so that when a letter of offer is actually issued, the terms on there are locked in. Our letters of offer, I don't like using the expression term sheet. Everyone asks you for a term sheet up front, whereas we try and understand the deal in its entirety before issuing a letter of offer, which granted it is a bit of a longer process, but it gives your client surety of funding and surety of what they're looking for. I obviously can't talk for other lenders in the market who do things back to front and try to get the client off the market and order valuation reports and really lock the client in financially and then change the goalposts. I think that's a very short-sighted way of doing business, and those people get found out pretty quickly. But unfortunately, that thing still does happen from time to time. So,
no, and I think you raised a really good point, and I guess a quick yes and a quick rate, whilst that might seem appealing, if it lacks due diligence from a broker's perspective, that's probably a red flag, which sounds counterintuitive because, time is of essence and so on and so forth. But I guess from a broker's perspective, I would expect that there should be some assurance if there is a due diligence process, even though that may be met with a bit of resistance in terms of getting that rate. But then I guess, on the upside, you go through the process but you know what you're going to be locked in for, opposed to it being much, much looser.
Yeah, absolutely. And, to all the brokers out there who will be watching this, as I said, it's we sometimes get a bit of pushback for a lot of the questions that we ask and some of the information that we ask for. But the reason we do that is to try and give an equitable outcome for everyone involved. The last place that I want to be running is a place that has a reputation for going back on their word or changing the terms and all the rest of it. So, you sometimes just need to be a bit patient with some of the requests that we make for information, and it's all coming from the right place. There is this misconception that you send a deal to a private lender and it's automatically approved regardless of how it looks. That's certainly not the case. Again, I can't talk for other lenders, but certainly not the case where we are. We try and offer a bespoke solution to every problem that we get, and sometimes that does involve workshopping a deal for longer than some people may like. But as I said, it comes from a place where we're trying to get everybody the solution that they're looking for.
Absolutely. And, the upside of that due diligence is confidence and consistency and transparency.
Yeah, absolutely. Consistency is probably the key word in there.
Yeah.
We'll make consistent lending decisions. You know, two deals that look very, very similar will probably end up being written in the same sort of terms. I know that certain lenders can change their appetites very quickly, but consistent lending decisions is something that's very important to us.
Yeah, indeed. Thanks for your time, Matt.
Thanks.